I just want to know, Michelle. Be an adult. Use your words. Hi, can we have like a little chit chat? I just wanted like a simple chit chat video with my fellow hot Cheetos. Some of you guys were asking what we all can be called, and I was trying to figure it out, so I tried that one out. We could also go with the tummy aches. A lot of us have a lot of stomach issues, probably from the hot Cheetos. Anyway, I know many people say you're
not supposed to read the comments, don't respond to comments.
Don't even ever glance at comments as it'll make you go insane. Which I think that's true. And as an influencer, we all know there's gonna be all sorts of opinions all across the internet, and sometimes they're odd, weird, creepy, and make you say, what? Where did you get that? And it can be very mentally taxing. And honestly, I've talked to some of the people that are constantly fighting in the comment section, constantly doing response videos, constantly just like scrolling. And with my anecdotal evidence, I can say, I think that's driving them a little insane. But with that being said, I absolutely love talking to you guys in the comment section. If I didn't, I wouldn't have met friends that I consider family now. I wouldn't have rode on rides at Disneyland with some of you guys. Like, I really like it. It's really, really fun to just be around people that have like the same humor as me. And most of you guys are very recurring followers. You're very goofy, funny, loosey-goosey jokesters, that millennial humor. But some people might be new here. You might not know who the f I am because I'm a YouTuber and YouTubers aren't really well known. But since we are a community, something that I've noticed in like the YouTube space is commenters are allowed to say whatever the fuck they want in the comment section. And the YouTuber is just supposed to sit behind the camera and take it. But then the moment the YouTuber comments back,
Oh, what's that? You can't take criticism.
And that's what always makes my booty cheeks itch. Just a little bit. I cannot remember which YouTuber this was. It was when I was like early into this YouTube thing, and one of the comments called her fat. She was obviously pretty like, what the fuck? And she came back and said, I looked at your profile. You are fatter than me. And the way that I was like, yes, give the same energy. And then I go to the comments and see people getting extremely upset at the YouTuber because she should know how to act and never respond to comments and has more power than this commenter. Once again, made my ass itch. She ended up apologizing, and I wish I could remember who it was. It was someone from a true crime thing. I don't watch true crime anymore. It has been years because it kind of freaks me out a lot, but it always stuck with me because in no way would I apologize for matching somebody's energy. I don't care how long you've been watching my videos. You ain't gonna call me fat and then turn around and be upset that I said the same thing. Anyway, this isn't about that per se. No one called me fat because then there would be no video. But the fact that she apologized made me want to make sure to make a video and tell you, I don't do that. If I think your comment is dumb and I happen to see it and have the time as I walk on the treadmill for an hour, I'm probably gonna stop and have a little conversation with you. I have an hour on the treadmill. Let's do this. For example, on the Gypsy Rose video, there was a point where Ken's friends was saying Ken was gay because he lived in San Francisco. Let me know, I could be wrong, but I just don't think I have to tell you, or who's most likely an adult, that living in San Diego doesn't make you gay. But Mandy needed the clarification.
Visiting San Francisco doesn't make someone gay. Bisexual people can be in monogamous relationships with people of the opposite sex. These aren't really even talking points, much less gotcha moments. I have no knowledge of Gypsy Rose with the exception of reading about the murder and her convictions, which is why I watch reaction videos to try and get an idea of what's going on now. And this shit is stupid enough for me to stop mid-video.
People told her, Michelle didn't say any of that. So I was like, okay, she was just had a little bit of a misunderstanding. People told her, that's fine. But no, she made it clear and responded and said,
I was actually more irritated that Michelle included it and reacted like she co-signed it, which was surprising and disappointing.
And that just made me say while I was on the treadmill, what the fuck? Because if you gave it about 12 more seconds, I'm telling you, girl, you would have seen that I would say, none of this is proof and that guy was clearly drunk and just an idiot. But another what the fuck, because I didn't know that I have to make it clear that living in San Francisco doesn't make you gay. Because my audience isn't 3. I didn't know after every single clip, I have to make sure you know my clear opinion and explain it to you like I'm Dora the Explorer.
We've got to turn Nightlight's crank to help her shine even brighter.
And the whole thing about you're upset about me including it, that was a huge topic in the story of Gypsy Rose and Friends. You know, don't ever watch the news or anything else on the internet or on TV or a movie It was kind of part of the story. Sometimes I don't even get to my opinion until the end of the video because most watchers don't give a fuck. They just want to know that juicy drama. Anyway, but I've seen this comment so many times from people on a lot of YouTube channels, and they are always like, why include this? Why, huh? Why'd you do that? It's part of the story, you Anyway, and then when I respond and say, okay, so you're like that type of person who will stop a video mid-topic, freak the fuck out, leave a whole paragraph of all these assumptions, and then be done. And I simply said, I don't think this channel is for you then. And I don't know if you guys know this, but you know, people, all they have to do is click on your profile and they can see your past comments that you left on the channel. And I don't know if you guys know this, but many YouTubers have a plugin or an app of some sort where they can see every single comment that you've left on the channel, which I have. I don't feel like I need to pull up all of Mandy's, even though there was 12 of them. Not the point of this video, I'm just using her comment as an example of my overall feelings of the YouTuber commenter relationship. But it is such a mind fuck to see people like where they draw the line, especially when they think that you can't see their comments, and where people can switch it up so quickly. They're fine with me telling a whole story of this drama, but Gypsy Rose's husband? No, not that one. Why'd you include that? But the last thing I wanted to talk about that happens to creators that kind of irritates me a lot is when they respond to just an out-of-pocket comment that either got something wrong, doesn't make sense, or was just completely rude, and the commenter tries to flip it on them.
I have been on your channel for a while, and I was also honest and said I hadn't finished the video and would have found it surprising and disappointing if that is in fact what you were doing.
No. That's not what you were doing in the original comment. You were upset and you were trying to make it that I was saying if you're from San Francisco, then you're gay. And perhaps you maybe meant something else or maybe typed it a little oddly and in the way that you didn't mean. I can understand that, but do not try to manipulate me, which she tries to do in the next part.
I was irritated by the fact that it was even left open as a possibility. You seriously can't take a very mild criticism.
And that's the part that makes me wanna, no, Michelle, put it down. Be an adult. We don't use our hands here. We use our words. You said a weird comment, people corrected you, I responded, also correcting you, and now all of a sudden I'm the one that can't take criticism? I could totally understand if I was like, listen here, motherfucking Mandy, you stupid ugly bitch. No, I responded to your obviously upset comment, as I do with many people, because I like to, you know, communicate, and then you kind of manipulate the situation with the whole, I've been here for a while. Like the same energy of someone getting mad at a business and saying, I've been a customer here for years.
You seriously can't take a very mild criticism like this from someone who generally enjoys most of your content and would rather just invite me to leave?
And this is why I wanted to make this video, so I can say publicly to anyone that is confused, to anyone who doesn't know who I am as a person. Although I might have changed like little things throughout the years, the way I deliver, you know, certain stories, my editing techniques, topics, whatnot, I still have never changed the fact that I will always invite you to leave. Yes, if you are someone who watches a video midway through, instantly gets triggered by something that's included in the story, and then you click off the video and leave 2 paragraphs of assumptions and like totally shift the vibe of the video to anyone reading your comment, yeah, I invite you to leave because looks like I hurt you pretty bad. Why would you want that in your life? That's like a basic human reaction, right? When I worked at the gym, some people didn't like the rules, and so we would always invite them to, if you don't like it, you can just go somewhere else, I guess. Why? I feel like sometimes people want to be the ones to say, well, I'm leaving, and I guess maybe I beat her to the punch, and so that irritates her.
Not one iota of introspection about the impression your reaction/editing leaves. That is also surprising and disappointing.
Once again, 12 comments on other videos that were very similar to this one. Something about like that, I don't know what to call it, it just seems so uppity. You know those people that say, do better. Like Demi Lovato when she walked into the froyo shop and there were diet cookies and she flipped the fuck out, made the business look like something it wasn't.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend.
And eventually the normal people started chiming in and were like, girl, what? This seems a little personal.
Because it wasn't clear, I'm definitely jumped to conclusions.
Same thing with people that have like smaller channels or commenters. Like for some reason, if you're a small channel, you don't have a following, or you're a commenter, you're immune. No. not all the time. It's just very interesting. As a creator, people will write a whole paragraph and then the creator responds and all of a sudden they can't take criticism. But it always just boggles my mind the people who make assumptions that get pissed off when the creator responds. I would have just scrolled on right past me and said, you know, I fucking hated this video. All right, your opinion. Move on to the next, I guess. Don't try to manipulate me or the situation or try to say that I'm crazy. Okay, I'm not crazy. It's just interesting. I love being a YouTuber. It was great, especially when my endometriosis was at its peak. And I know that assumptions come with it, but I hate the fact that you can't respond to comments because you have more power or something. Like if you respond, you can't take mild criticism. That wasn't criticism. Where was the critique? You got triggered over a sensitive topic to you. That's all. That's okay. Like if something triggers you, I get triggered every single day. Have you seen how people eat in public? Or breathe? Ugh, I just hate the whole influencers can't respond or you're a bully. Or like we've seen it before when celebrities respond and they're a bully. Or you can't take criticism. If a response means you can't take criticism, then you're in the same boat. But I do have to positively call out Made by Coral and make her the comment of the month, which I'm a little behind at doing these things. So probably throughout the whole month, I'll just do like a comment a week where you guys share a funny comment or very insightful comment or even a fair critique comment because I haven't been doing that and I love those. But Made by Coral, she was very irritated that in my Amberlynn video where Amberlynn's 4,500th excuse is she gained weight by stepping into a puddle, that I didn't talk more about cellulitis and I responded saying, actually, if you waited a little bit, we did talk about cellulitis, but if I didn't do that great of a job, maybe go to a doctor and ask them about it instead of a YouTuber. Anyway, she came back. I cannot find her comment now, but she was like, hey, I'm sorry. I completely understand. I typed, you know, like she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean it like that. You're right. It's like, you did go into, she was fine. And it was a really sweet thing for her to do instead of getting, you know, completely defensive. Instead of writing a comment where she was wrong in one, and then two, getting extremely defensive when I called out her being wrong. And honestly, that happens way more times than you think. I just don't make videos about it because I do like to converse with you guys. Like if I see someone who's a reoccurring person on my channel and they're like irritated about something, I don't mind going back and forth. I've even invited some people to converse with me in my messages who like leave me like a comment and we end up having a really good conversation. And I absolutely love that because there's power in communicating. But I absolutely cannot stand the commenters that say, oh, you're responding to my public comment where I made these complete assumptions, called your video stupid, and now you're responding to me? How dare you? So yes, if you are one of those people that expect YouTubers to say, I'm so sorry, drop down to the knees and plead at your putrid feet to not leave me, constantly walk on eggshells and make sure they're saying the absolute right thing every single person will always agree with, and of course be upset that I included something that was in the story, you should probably walk on and not be on YouTube at all. You're not gonna have a good time. Honestly, I don't think you can handle it. Throwback though, do you guys remember that girl who left a paragraph on my, this is like all the way back, shout out if you remember this, but that girl who left like the longest paragraph on my Instagram, like assumptions, rude names, like all these things. She was just going off. And then I was like, girl, what? And then made a video saying, okay, you seem irritated and passionate about this, so much so that you're writing me a whole novel on a public profile. Let's discuss it. Let's talk. And then all of a sudden she got some pushback and she was like, oh, no. Actually, I'm autistic. Okay, and? Were you not autistic before you left all those comments, or like did it just all of a sudden happen right now? I just think as YouTubers that we have to expect people making assumptions about us, people talking out of pocket, comments, but as commenters, I think that you guys have to be aware that YouTubers will see it and sometimes they will respond. Can we agree? I feel like that's fair. I feel like I'm not saying anything that's like, mind-boggling. Anyway, Miss Mandy, if she ain't watching this video, she got to be gone by now, I know it. But you know, if you are still here, wonderful. If you stay, I have no problem talking to you for a little bit if I'm on the treadmill. These are my true feelings. But if you need to go, totally understandable. To everyone else, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your really funny comments. You guys give me a lot of ideas. You're extremely creative. Sometimes, like, one of my biggest reasons why I don't go through comments so much is because you guys give me like too many ideas. I keep writing them down and I have this whole book of ideas and I get very, what's that word? Crashy outy because you guys are just too good. But we have some pretty long detailed videos coming up. Mandy, warning, I do cover most of the dramas about the story, so maybe don't watch those, I guess, if you don't like the whole story. But until then, I will see all of you guys next time, or in the comment section if I'm on the treadmill. See ya.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on. Neighborhood all in your eardrums.